What's going on, guys? CTG Matt back. Today we're ranking NBA teams. We're about 64, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less, give or take a few games into the season. We should know who these teams are. It's kind of like Contender or Pretender. We'll see how it goes today. Don't forget to like, comment, and share if you enjoy the video. Specifically subscribe, though. That'd be really nice. Let's get into our tiers. We'll see real deal, no Bradley Beal, because the team with Bradley Beal is not a real deal. So yeah, I had to specify that. I can see it. I can see it means, like, yeah, they might not be a top-line contender, but if, like, an injury happens, I can see them sliming into a finals or something like that. The little engine that couldn't. These are, like, play-in teams or teams that are probably not going to win the finals, but will definitely be a playoff team and will be a fun watch come playoff time. Fun to watch, but bad. Straightforward. Terrible team. Fun to watch, though. Happens. And then there's bad and not fun to watch. This is hell. This is the definition of hell. Is that because if you're bad and not fun, what are we doing? And then there's you have to pay me to watch, meaning I haven't watched a game in probably like 2 weeks. There's only a couple of teams that I just opt not to watch. I watch as much basketball as possible, but there's like a few teams in the NBA where I just will not watch them. Like I said, subscribe, like, that's all you really need to do. Let's jump right into it. We have the Milwaukee Bucks, and while they aren't a top-line contender, I can still see it. The way that I define it is all roads lead back to Giannis. Giannis controls everything, and if he can get hot, stay hot, maybe Dame gets hot, now we're talking about a real contender, a team that can win it all. You just need a big top-line star, and you have a chance, and they have one of the top 3, 4 maybe, biggest and best stars in basketball, and then Dame, that helps. And it also helps when they're getting good contributions. Last night, forget who they were facing, but KPJ had a good game. Gary Trent's putting together a decent season. Brook Lopez is Brook Lopez. You know what you're going to get. TP, Taurean Prince, he can still hit a few threes here and there. Derry Bird's my guy, So while they're not a top-line contender, you have Giannis, bro. You should be. You can win the finals. You have Giannis. All roads lead to Giannis when you talk about the Bucks is how I define it. We can bounce to the Brooklyn Nets now, who, all right, they are fun to watch but bad. Unfortunately, I'm a New Yorker, so I have to find different ways to watch them because, if you don't have cable blackout restrictions, because that's healthy for the product, is like blackout restrictions to anyone that lives in the state. Yeah, that's a great idea. But Jordi Fernandez can get these guys to hoop, bro. I don't know how he gets these guys up every day. He has a different lineup every day, a different, there's 7 different guys in the rotation every game, it feels like. And yet they still get up and they play competitive games. They played a good game against OKC. They played a good game against the Knicks not too long ago. I think they played, who was the other one that they've had a good game against? I gotta find it. Cavs game. They played the Cavs really well. The Cavs ended up having to come back from a lot of points down. I can't remember the exact amount. I know it was a comeback for the Cavs and a win, but they play teams so tough, and Jordi Fernandez has flexed his ability to be a good coach, because if you could take a team with Keon Johnson and Noah Clowney and Nick Claxton as your big 3, because again, like I said, consistently, they don't have the same lineup night to night. So, yeah, if you could take a team that has rotating parts and end up making it a competitive team, you're in a good spot head coaching-wise. Jordi Fernandez has done a terrific job in Brooklyn. The Knicks I have in the little engine that couldn't. They're okay. So, I know. They're a fun team to watch. They really are, because they play every game close, it feels like. But I just don't think they have it, if I'm being honest. Your top 2 players aren't great defenders. That automatically sets you back a little bit. But on top of that, it's like, to me, it's like some of these guys strive when Brunson isn't even there. Like, Brunson wasn't there. Mikhail's having a great game now. Mikhail's also asking Tibbs to play less minutes, which is reasonable, but you're playing for Tom Thibodeau, buddy. He's probably going to play you more now that you asked for less. But while I really like this Knicks team, I'm just not sure that they have it. You know what I mean? I don't know. I don't mean it factor, but they definitely I just don't think they have enough firepower. That bench isn't very deep. Deuce is fun. I love Deuce McBride. Landry Shamit's playing big minutes. Don't know how that's going to go. They like him over there, though, so maybe Landry Shamit's found a new home or something. I don't know. I definitely don't see them as highly as I see the Bucks, and I definitely don't see them as highly as I see the other teams up on a real deal that will be there. I don't see them on that tier. I like what the Knicks have done this season. They've been a really fun team to watch, but I think their cap is like conference finals. I don't think they're a finals team. I just really don't. Toronto. I'm going to put them in bad and not fun to watch. I don't enjoy their games very often. They have it's a rotating door. They had a couple of guys like Shed has hit a game winner or 2. I think 2. 1 got waved off. And then they've had like a rotating door of who else is playing on a day-to-day basis. There was a guy on their roster who I forget who it was. Now I got to look again. But there was a guy on their roster I was like, he's really a Toronto Raptor. Let me see if I can find that. It was Orlando Robinson. What was that one? How did they net Orlando Robinson from Miami? I forget. But Orlando Robinson ends up there, and he's had a couple of good games for them. I don't really watch, though. Jamison Battle. Shout out to their guys. It's just they're so hurt. And there's guys over there that I don't know. And I watch basketball on a daily basis. And if I don't know you, you're new to my index, you know what I mean? And they've had a couple of guys. They had a guy come up the other day from the G League and put up like 30, and then they sent him back down. So that's how that goes. But they're injured, and they're trying to lose. Well, injured. I don't know how else to describe it. They have a lot of missing players on a daily basis. So Toronto's just I don't really watch often as much as I should, to be honest, because they've had some good games, but I really just don't. But they aren't all the way down, because I would turn on if there was only one game on and it was a Raptors game, I'd still turn it on. Here we go with the you would have to pay me to watch. Utah, I don't. They faced the Celtics the other day. They had a good game. It was a good game down the stretch, but I don't watch. I really just don't anymore. It's tiring. Inconsistencies in the lineup. It's just not a very good team all around. And on top of that, there's like no players I'm watching for. You know what I mean? Like every team has a guy that like you're watching for because it's like, oh, he might be something in the future. Like at least the Raptors have Scotty Barnes, Scotty or Barney. The Nets have a couple of guys, but they play competitive games. The Utah Jazz are getting washed off the floor. Walker Kessler had the best game of a big man that I've seen in a while, and he was a net negative, and they lost by like 30 still. Just a not fun team to watch. Houston Rockets. I don't think I can see it. What I like is that they are playoff built. Like this team plays tough defense meant for the playoffs. The issue is they just don't have the scoring facets, bro. Like Jalen Green had a good game yesterday or the day before. He had like 30 plus. That's a good game. Really good game for Jalen Green, but they just don't have the scoring talent, in my opinion, to be a team that gets over the top. They're a fun team to watch. They strap in defensively, and they have some hood classic games. But I don't know. I just don't think they're a finals contender. They don't have that top line talent yet. Plus, I mean, Amen's out, but that's not too long. So it's a fun team. They're having a great year, and I love what they've done. I love what Ime's done. Raphael Stone's built a good team. He's drafted well. But I just don't see that top-line talent, especially in the scoring department, and it just doesn't help. That doesn't help. If you can't score in the playoffs, you're going to struggle, and Jalen Green and Fred VanVleet are their top two go-to scorers. Don't know if I like that. Not top two, because Şengün's up there. But Şengün is very good. He's just more so their playmaker, kind of. But their tough shot guys are Green and VanVleet. They're perimeter creators, and I just don't think that's good enough. I've loved what they've done, though. I don't want it to sound like I hate the Rockets. I love what they've done. I just think they're going to struggle come playoff time with shot creation. I don't watch this team. Pelicans, no. Zion had a good game a couple of nights ago, triple-double, 22-point triple-double. But then last night they were down like 20 in the fourth quarter, and he had like 15 points. And I was like, I'm not tapping into that. I love Zion. I always will. I think he's an amazing talent. But overall, this team is not very fun to watch. They were getting run off the gym by, who was it? I can't remember. They had a good game. It wasn't a good game. Jordan Hawkins had a nice dunk in that game. That's cool. Get your highlights off, big man. You're not winning anything, so you might as well get your highlights off, have some fun. Lakers are going to go in the little engine that couldn't. Again, it's just another fun team where I just don't see them being able to win it all. I like Jackson. Well, I don't like Jackson Hayes. Can I be frank? I really just don't like Jackson Hayes that much. But their center rotation is very rough. Like, Reggie Miller was cooking Alex Len on the broadcast last night, and reasonably so. He was awful. Could they put something? You know what? Could I see them making a finals run? It's a tough call. It really is a tough call with the Lakers. Can I see them making a finals run? I'm just unsure. And I think that's my biggest thing is, like, I like sure things. And there's no such thing as a sure thing in the West this year, really, except for Oklahoma City. But a team like the Lakers, they could either get first round bumped and I wouldn't be surprised, or they could make a conference finals run and I'd be like, makes sense to me. They got beat to shreds by the Bucks last night, but they didn't have LeBron. I don't know. Can I see it? Do I see the Lakers winning a championship more than I can see the Knicks or the Rockets winning a championship? I think the answer to that is yes. when you have two top-of-the-line talents like that, two top 10 players in the league, I mean, I guess that has to move you up. Well, I don't like them. I don't like watching the Lakers more than I like watching the Rockets, per se. I like watching the Rockets more than the Lakers, but I don't know. I guess when you have those two top-line talents, it makes the case a lot easier. That's basically what I'm doing in my head is a court case, deciding, like, present some facts, this side versus this side. And realistically, two top 10 talents is going to get you benefit of the doubt in my book a lot of the time. Chicago's fun but bad, and that's okay. Josh Giddey's been killing. I don't know. Modest is fun. Modest is my favorite rookie in this class. I've said it a million times, and I'll say it a million more. Modest Buzelis is my favorite rookie in this class. I love Modest Buzelis. But like Kobe White's fun to watch. It's a weird little team, but they're fun. I don't know how to describe it other than fun. Kevin Huerter, Trey Jones have been playing well for them. Like, Kevin Huerter has been playing very well for them. But Kevin Huerter seems like a kind of like the White Buddy Hield, in the sense where he starts with a team and he starts off really well, like he did in Atlanta. He plays really well in Atlanta, starts to tail off, and the team's like, all right, we got to get rid of him. So they ship him to Sacramento. He has one amazing year in Sacramento. His first year in Sacramento was terrific, and it was like, all right, he's found a home. He's there now. And then it's like, Sacramento Kings fans are thinking we fleeced the Hawks for him, blah, blah, blah. He tails off the next season, and it's like, we got to get rid of him. He goes to Chicago. He starts off hot. Let's see if he stays hot. But I love Kevin Huerter because he's a local guy to me. And, so I appreciate him. And, where he's from, I'm not too far from. So that's nice. I like seeing Kevin Huerter succeed. But, yeah, overall, the Bulls are just fun bad. Vooch is a fun player. I don't care what people say. I enjoy Nikola Vucevic to an extent. Obviously not main option Vooch, but like Vooch is a fun enough player to me. Talk about a team that's getting hot at the right time. All right, they're getting hot right now. Can I see a finals run? Why not? Why not? I can have fun with it. I mean, Julius Randle has a bad playoff history. I don't know, man. This is such a hard team to talk about because they are very hot now. They've been really good right now. They've pieced together some really quality wins. They beat the brakes off the Nuggets. That's a hell of a win right there. Do I see them as a finals team? I really just don't know. I don't know. And that's a hard thing to say. But I don't know. I think Anthony Edwards is obviously elite, one of the best. Rudy makes you a good defensive team off rip already. They have the defensive pieces. The scoring is going to be, you're going to have to find it. But with Julius Randle back, they've been really good piecing together quality wins. So, I don't know. I want to believe, and I think I'm going to believe in the Timberwolves right now. They've been playing so well. All right, let's get back to it. I had to use the bathroom real quick. Sorry, folks. We got the Portland Trail Blazers, who are fun to watch, but bad. They aren't that bad in the grand scheme of things, but they are interesting to watch. Scoot Henderson has been piecing together a really awesome second half of the season, and I love that. Because people were ready to call him a bust after one whole season, and that's not what we do around here, I will tell you. I don't like that. Calling somebody a bust after year one or year two, that's lame. But I like seeing him succeed. Shaden's been good, obviously. That helps a lot. Klingen's obviously good. It's a fun team. Turbo Denny gets hot every once in a while. I've been a big Denny Avdia guy for a while now, but he seems like he's really become like a good player for them. And this time, I can actually say, shout out Chauncey. He's done a great job because I'm not Shaquille O'Neal, who thinks Chauncey Billups is coaching the damn Pistons. But they've been a fun enough team for me. I enjoy their games every once in a while, so I give them benefit of the doubt. They are a decent team. Anthony Simons is an ethical scorer, as they call them, an ethical scorer. He doesn't take free throws, just a lot of jump shots. If they go, they go. Denver, I can see it. You have Jokic, Jamal, Mike, AG's become a shooter. That's a revelation that I haven't talked about much this year, is that Aaron Gordon's got a blicky now. I guess Aaron Gordon can shoot. So that's a revelation that I'm interested in for sure. But just having Jokic automatically damn near puts you in contendership, but I don't think they're top line. They're not top line because you can beat them at home, and that was like one of the big things with them, was you could not beat them at home the last few seasons, but they seem beatable, And Jokic is just an amazing player, which still keeps them in contendership with Jamal and all the other pieces. But they just aren't a top-line contender. I don't think they're a top 3, maybe not even top 5 team in the league right now. It's close. All right, first real deal. It's the Thunder. They've run away with the West. The tough as nails Western Conference. They've sprinted away from everybody, and they've proven that they are the best team, the team to be in the NBA. Maybe you see Cleveland. I don't. I see the Thunder better than Cleveland. What they have is a unique ability to play any type of lineup they want, and you'll have to abide by it. They had a couple of possessions where they put Holmgren and Hartenstein together. They do possessions or lineups where, like, you'll have 5 wings, essentially. They can go with a shooting lineup, a defensive lineup, a big lineup. They can go small if they want to. Chet's like a small. He's not even a small ball 5. He's a true 5, don't get me wrong, but he definitely doesn't play like a 5. But they have an ability to go lineup for lineup with anybody. And while this Shea flopping stuff might be a little bit annoying, I'll be real with you. Thunder fans, y'all gotta look in the mirror. It gets a little bit annoying here and there. That flop on Peyton Pritchard, even though he didn't get the call, he did not get the call on the Peyton Pritchard flop. Why? You have a size mismatch. Use it. Be a fucking man. Use the size advantage, get into the lane, and float it up. If you can't score without flopping on Peyton Pritchard, I got some bad news for you. But he is so good, and he makes the tough shots that you need him to. It's just the flopping it's not Embiid level, it's not Prime Harden level, but it's definitely up there with some of the best of all time, with the D Wades maybe. Is he in the Jimmy Butler level of flopper? Ooh, maybe. I'm not sure. I'd have to list out NBA floppers, the best NBA floppers. Maybe that's a video I'm going to make, honestly. The best active NBA floppers. Memphis. Could I see them making a finals run? You know what? Yeah, they're tough to beat at home. They have 2 stars, Jaren Jackson, John Morant. That makes it tough. Desmond Bane's a tough shot maker, and he can pass. He's been a pretty good facilitator recently. Edey is a fun, interesting player that I'm not sure is like top line or going to be the best player, best center in that draft, but he is going to be very good. He is very good already, for Christ's sake. I just like what they got cooking in Memphis, but I don't know if they're a top. I don't even know if I should have them here is the issue, but they've been playing so well, I think I have to. The issue with them is like, I don't know. They don't have the top line talent. And John Morant's, he had a dagger 3, which was it was a cold 3 last night. But overall, I think I have to put them in contender. But do I see them making a finals run? I don't think so. I don't know. That feels mean, though, and I don't like being mean to Grizzlies fans because they've been very good and very fun to watch. I enjoy the Grizzlies. It sounds like I'm coming off as a hater. I promise you, I'm trying not to. Just don't see them winning the finals, but I do see them as a very fun, good team. Dallas is going to go in the little engine that couldn't. They're dead. The whole team is dead. That's the simplest way to put it. The whole team is dead. Everyone. They had a 7-man rotation after Dwight Powell got hit in the noggin. I don't know what I'm supposed to say about a team that has 6 to 8 active players on a daily basis. I have no idea. So, yeah, shout out to Najee Marshall. Should I put them lower? Dallas? No, because if they were healthy, they'd probably be up here in the I can see it tier, but they're not, and I don't think they will be in time. The Spurs are going to go, all right, so De'Aaron Fox yesterday, season ended, he went and got wrist surgery, I believe, which is the right move. Without Fox, without Wemby, they're bad, not fun to watch. That's just what it is. I don't think I'm going to watch a game the rest of the year, really. As much as I love Vassell and Keldon and Stephon Castle and them boys, I'm not going to lie. I don't know how much I want to watch Champagny and Charles Bassey get shots up. I don't know how much I'm going to watch, but when they're healthy, it's another team. It's like when they're healthy, they are a good team. I think they could be really good. But going into the offseason, their biggest focus is player development, as it should be. And I think they're going to be a good team in the future. Just for right now, nah, they're way too hurt. Phoenix, bad and not fun to watch. They frustrate me, dog. If you didn't watch my video 2 videos ago now at this point, they frustrate me beyond belief. Beyond belief. They frustrate me. Matt Ishbia, it's a money laundering scheme, I guess, for him. I don't know. But Matt Ishbia tried his best. This team just isn't very good. isn't very fun to watch either, honestly. They don't lock in enough defensively. They don't communicate well. But honestly, I can't blame the players for not communicating well when Devin Booker was literally told to shut up, basically. So I can't blame the players for lack of communication. If their best player, maybe second best player, depends on how you want to see it, they're definitely one of their best players in franchise history, just got told to shut his damn mouth by the coach. I don't know. Frustrating to watch is all I can describe the Phoenix Suns as. Clippers, no. For as fun as they've been this season, I don't think they're that good. I mean, they're a good defensive team, that's for sure. Really good defensive team. But offensively, I don't know. Like, Chris Dunn is so good at defense. He's one of the best defensive players in basketball, Chris Dunn. But he can't play come crunch time because he can't shoot. He can't score. I don't know how you go about that in a playoff scenario when you need your best defender out there, but you can't afford to have your best defender out there because he's costing you points on offense. I have no clue what to do with the Clippers. I don't know what their future plans are. L. Frank, y'all got to do something over there. You know, I like some of the players. I like Harden having a great year again, and Kawhi coming back and being an NBA player again. He's been all right. But oh, yeah, he also hit a game winner. That's fun. But I just don't see them as a very competitive team in terms of a playoff scenario. Golden State Warriors. I can see it, and it makes me sad. They've been elite with Jimmy Butler on the team. Since Jimmy Butler's arrived, they've been a terrific team through and through. Move my microphone over. They've been terrific. They beat the brakes off the Kings last night as I record this. And it got close at the end of the first half. Like, the Kings cut it to like 8 or whatever after it was a blowout, and then the Kings cut it to like 10 or 8 or whatever going into half. And then the Warriors put their foot back on the gas pedal, and the game was over. They are a fun team. I don't like them. All things considered, Warriors fans, I respect you for liking the Warriors, but I don't like the Warriors. I'm a Celtics fan. You beat us in the finals, so ever since then, I don't like you. I think that's reasonable. I think that's reasonable. Like, if the Celtics beat the Warriors in the finals and you were like, I hate the Celtics, okay, yeah, that makes sense to me. But Jimmy Butler in the lineup has damn near made them unbeatable. Draymond Green's still out there doing his thing. You know, they got the young guys back. Kuminga's back. Kuminga's back, and that's the big dog, you know, the big bench scorer that they needed. Buddy Hield's been a contributor again. He scored 15 in the last few games. You know, he scores a little bit. And then, of course, Moses Moody, like Kendrick Perkins said. He defends well. I like Moses Moody. And then Quentin Post has been an absolute revelation because Loondog Millionaire isn't doing the job sometimes. And Quentin Post can knock down a three, and that helps a lot. It helps a lot, especially when Draymond ain't hitting shots either. So Draymond ain't hitting threes. You're still able to space the floor into a 4-out with Draymond in because Quentin Post is able to knock down a three. He's been a big help, man, a revelation, because their center position was bad before he just showed up. He literally just showed up. I didn't know who Quentin Post was before like a month ago. Shout out Guy Santos too. What's his name? Is his full name Giuseppe? I wish it was. That'd be fun, but it's G whatever Santos. He's a fun defensive player as well. Just an all-around decent team. I just don't like them, and I think that's reasonable. Detroit, they're going to go in little engine that couldn't, but that's not something that should be taken as a net negative, Detroit fans. You lost 25 games in a row last year. Anything was an improvement from last year, and this was super fun. Now, last night, this is going to sound very recent. Recency anger, not recency bias, recency anger out of me on this one. 10 seconds left, they're down 3, and Tim Hardaway Jr. takes the shot. Why? Cade ran past him on the inbound play. Cade ran past him like a DHO. I thought it was going to be a handoff. Instead, Tim Hardaway Jr. pulls it. Not even close. That made me so mad. You have Cade Cunningham, Malik Beasley, Tobias Harris, and Tim Hardaway Jr. ends up with the biggest shot of the game. It just made me mad. Kings. Fun to watch, but bad when Sabonis is healthy. But when Sabonis is out, they just haven't been fun. Valanciunas had a good game against Denver, but Valanciunas is not a reliable big man to the point where Trey Lyles started the second half because Val was so bad. So it's a tough spot for the Kings. They were fun with Sabonis there, but if Sabonis isn't there, Jover. That's all I can really say. Not much more on the Kings, honestly. Their season's kind of just treading water. I don't know. This has been a very uninteresting season for me with the Kings. I just haven't found what they've done to be very fun to watch or interesting, in my opinion. Cavaliers are a real deal contender. They've run away with the East. They're gone. Nobody's catching them, and I think that's pretty good for them, man. Like, I always like watching the Cavs succeed this year because they have had zero success really outside of like the 90s with Price and Daughtry, and then obviously the LeBron years. So you finally found some success post-2000 without LeBron James. That's amazing. Obviously, it comes at the expense of my Celtics championship window. Not ideal. But, like, adding DeAndre Hunter made them a real contender. Without DeAndre Hunter, they'd still be up here, but it makes them even more threatening because I love Strus. I don't love Strus. I kind of actually dislike Strus, but Strus is good. Dean Wade is good. Okoro is fine. But you finally have a wing who can take the ball off the deck, or dribble. Just dribble. You have a guy who can go get a bucket on the wing. And DeAndre Hunter isn't like the best player in the world. However, he is able to get a bucket, and he's a reliable shooter too, so that definitely helps. I just like DeAndre Hunter add. That might be the biggest add at midseason, right up there with like Jimmy Butler, to be honest, because they both changed their team's prospective seasons. It's just with the Cavs, they were already great. It's just now they're truly elite with DeAndre Hunter. They needed a wing defender, and DeAndre Hunter's not a great wing defender. However, he can still score, and I think that makes him very valuable because, like I said, as much as I love their other guys, they weren't able to put the ball on the deck. They weren't able to dribble. They weren't able to kill closeouts, and if you already have the threat of Mitchell Garland on the perimeter, you're going to be able to get open looks for DeAndre Hunter, and if they close out too hard, he's able to go around it, finish at the rim, and if they don't close out at all, he's over a 40% three-point shooter. He's knocking it down. The Celtics are going up, even though they're weird. The bench is so bad some nights, like very bad. And I don't hate Luke Cornett or Peyton Pritchard, Torrey Craig. I don't hate any of them. It's just not a very great bench. Peyton Pritchard against competitive teams has a very bad streak going, to the point where like he gets buckets. He's killing Chicago. He's killing the Pelicans. He's killing Utah. He didn't kill Utah. Sam Hauser killed Utah. But like he's killing Portland. He's killing Brooklyn. But he ain't doing anything against Cleveland. Well, he has had good games against Cleveland, but he hasn't had a good game against the Thunder. Hasn't had a good game against like a lot of the top teams, and that really worries me. But Peyton Pritchard is like a hit or miss player, and if he's not hitting his shots, he's literally worthless because he can't defend. Obviously, you have Tatum and Brown, so that makes you a contender, but Kristaps Porzingis' viral illness that the doctors don't even know. He was at shoot-around today, so maybe that indicates good signs. I hope it does. But if Kristaps doesn't come back soon, they could really start finding themselves into some trouble going into the playoffs because he's not going to be acclimated or ready for game action. So, I don't know. They need Porzingis very bad. Because without Porzingis, it just turns back into the 2021 team, or 2022, where it's like, if it's not Tatum or Brown on the perimeter, you're relying on White and Holiday and Pritchard, who are spotty at best. And Porzingis isn't a guaranteed 30 a game. He's not a bucket, but he's a mismatch eater. And sometimes you just need to be able to work a mismatch. And much as I love Big Al, he ain't as much of a threat down in the low post as a Kristaps Porzingis. So yeah, Celtics are a real contender, but there is cracks in the wall. I'm not saying the C word in the armor because it's a racial slur as well. Not using that word. Even though it is the terminology, I'm not trying to do that, but you get what I'm saying. Celtics are a real contender, very, very interesting team to watch, but they do melt leads as well. I think that just has to do with Porzingis not being there and not having a third facet to the offense other than the drive and kick. Philadelphia, no. I'm not watching. I'm not watching them. I'm sorry. I love Yabusele. That's my guy. Gershon, the Dancing Bear. We love him in Boston, even though he plays in Philadelphia. But I ain't watching that. Sorry. Daryl Morey said he's using AI to help build the team, too. Come on. No. Stop. It's stupid. That's dumb. Stop. The AI, like, bro went on Bing AI or whatever, and Bing AI was like, yeah, dude, Paul George was cooking in 2015. Go sign him. 2018 Paul George, that's what AI thought they were signing. Charlotte, nope. Shout out Damian Baugh. Damian Baugh's family liked and followed me on social media because I shouted him out So shout out Damian Baugh again. I will always shout him out because is family real for that. Is he that good? No, not really. But is the Hornets team that good? No, not really. So it doesn't really matter what he does. The team stinks. LaMelo he's fallen off kind of. They just aren't good. Washington, nope. Goodbye. Keyshawn George hit a big three against the Pistons last night. I watched that game because I like watching the Pistons. Keyshawn George hit a big three from a deep in that game. And there's some fun player development going on over there, but I just don't really watch like that. But they did it like 21 threes last night against Detroit. 23s for a Wizards team is outrageous. Magic. This is a tough one. They're getting put up here, but they aren't really that good. They're not a very great team overall. I don't think they're that special. Good defensively, but offensively, they still haven't figured it out. The young guys, specifically Paolo and Franz, don't know how to play off each other yet. And it reminds me very much of early Tatum and Brown, where they just don't know how to play off each other, and they don't know how to make the winning plays consistently enough. You know what I mean? They are such smooth scorers that, like, they could make a run in the playoffs. And plus, they're built for playoff basketball. They're defensive-oriented. I always say the best defensive teams usually do well in the playoffs, but without Jalen Suggs, that's a big hit as well. I forgot Suggs was out. Yeah, they're going to stay there because Paolo, Franz are spectacular players in their own right, but I don't have any confidence in them really making a run, especially without Jalen Suggs. Miami Heat, no. So I was very excited post-trade deadline for them. I like Khalil Ware, Larson, guys like Jaime Jaquez getting more PT, but it just hasn't been a fun experience. Terry Rozier's getting a lot of minutes, and that makes me upset, to say the least. So, yeah. I don't enjoy the Heat watching experience anymore. The viewing experience for Miami has gone out the window for me, and then my view goes out the window. Once my viewing experience becomes bad, then my view doesn't exist anymore. I'm not watching. But I do watch because I still have belief in Khalil and Khalil, whatever, and guys like that. I have belief in them, but it's a rough watch. That's why I put them in bad and not fun to watch, because I will turn it on, but I don't enjoy what I'm watching all the time. Atlanta's bad and fun to watch because Trae Young makes them fun to watch. That's basically it. The guy had 35 with 25 free throws, or 21 in free throws, 35 total. I mean, that's a hilarious stat line. He's up there with the floppers as well. He's gonna get his dues. But all things considered, the Hawks aren't a good team, but they are interesting because Trae Young makes them interesting. And that leaves us with Indiana, who's putting together a decent little stretch here, even though I think they lost their last game. No, did they? Wait a minute. No, they they beat Milwaukee. Tyrese's and won 3, but I don't know if they played another game after that. I'm going to put them in Little Engine that couldn't, because they're going to be a playoff team, but they aren't a real finals contender, but they are a fun team to watch. Again, they're back to that style of, like, they are fun. You know, Pascal, Mathurin. Neesmith's there. He plays good defense. Nembhard's a good defender. Neesmith's a good defender. Their big man spot, Thomas Bryant's holding it down. Thomas Bryant's been holding it down, man. Obviously, Miles Turner's still there, but Thomas Bryant has been really holding it down for that team as a backup 5. And overall, it's a fun little team, but obviously I don't think they're a finals contender. But Pascal, Tyrese, it's a fun thing. I'm not Tim Hardaway Sr., so I'm not going to dump all over Tyrese Halliburton. That's a weird beef, bro. That is the weirdest beef I've ever seen. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. Comment, too, about your favorite team. Tell me why I'm wrong about them, because nobody ever tells me that I'm right. They usually only comment to tell me I'm wrong. I like it anyways. I like the engagement. Thank you. Thank you for joining me. I'm going to catch the game. I'll see you guys in the next one.